Welcome guys. In this episode, we're going to talk about break of structure, how to know a valid break of structure, invalid break of structure, types of break of structure, and when to use the break of structure. Now, basically, in the market, when we're looking at certain things, I'm sorry that I'm a bit rushing, but I need you to understand this. In every break of structure, there are different types of break of structure, but in basic essentiality, we have a break of structure that is like this. This is basically what we know to be a break of structure. So once price has taken a previous high or price has taken a previous low, that is the basic break of structure. Now we have different types of break of structure, which is the valid and invalid break of structure. There are so many types of break of structure. I hope I can cover a few of them inside this one video. Now let's go into the types. We have the valid break of structure. The valid break of structure is basically, let's go there, the valid BOS. This is basically the one that we all know, which is price creates a low, creates a high. This is a valid break of structure. All right, the same in the sense that price creates something like this. This is a valid break of structure, and this type of break of structure is very common, and it's the one we all know about, which is once we see this type of thing, we'll be expecting our demand, sorry, our supplies to be exacting, and then things like this. Once we have our demand here, we'll be waiting for price to come here and do certain things like this and give us another break of structure. I hope you're all understanding me, because if you look at this, you can see another break of structure in this sense. But now, after this valid break of structure, we have what is invalid break of structure. I'm going to put it up here. Invalid BOS. BOS simply means break of structure here. So for the invalid break of structure, we have things like this. Take note of what I'm going to draw. We have things like this. We have a sweep here, and then prices like this. Now, this is a sweep. I want you to know that this is a sweep. I will show you everything exactly on the chart. Just follow up. Now, take note. This is what? A sweep. This is not a break of structure. Whenever you have certain things like this, it shows that what? This high is a weak high, and it's obviously going to be targeted. Now, there are certain things that I do, like now when it comes to GBP JPY, when you are going to the higher time frame, which is the daily time frame, the GBP JPY, if you have something like this, obviously you know that you are meant to look for a demand inside here. But eventually, this is the daily time frame. You go to the 4-hour time frame, you look for some sort of demand zone inside here, because price will do whatever it wants to do and reach this high. Why? Because this high is what? Invalid. This high is invalid. They take note of this high. This high is valid because of what? The valid break of structure. Then when the break of structure is not valid, we have to wait, because this high is likely going to be the next targeted place. Remember, I'm going to show you everything on the charts. Just follow me. Now we have another type, which is called the double break of structure. Double, which is like normal double BOS. In this sense, there are different formats of it, but I'm going to show you the few ones I can. Now for the sell type, we can have one that does like this. Now take note of the first thing that happened there. The first one that happened there was what? Was a sweep. It's not a valid break of structure. But the second one that happened is what? A break of structure. Now in this certain thing, you are meant to look for the demand, sorry, for the supply above this high, because this high is likely going to be used as what you know as inducement, which you do, and certain things like this. Do you understand me? This is the double break of structure. I'll show you everything on the chart. Just follow with me, stay with me. Now for the buying case, we have something like this. Oh, sorry. For the buying case, we have something like this. Invalid first break of structure, then we have another break of structure like this. Then in this case, obviously, we're going to have our what demand here, because why? This low is going to be an inducement. This this is a disclaimer. I am teaching you based on my experiences of what I have seen work over the years of me being inside this industry. Now, aside from this, yeah, we still have another one, which is the last one I'll talk in this episode. We have what is called I don't even know what to call it, but it's mostly what I call it is a steep BOS. Is this how I'll spell steep? Steep. Okay, let's say something like this, a steep BOS. Now, this occurs when price gives you a major downfall like this, and then you see something like this. Have you taken note? Have you never seen when price does things like, they don't alter the high, they don't alter this high. They create an internal break of structure here, which is just telling us that this is going to be our demand, waiting for price to come here, trigger this demand, and then take out what this high. Now take note of the names. This is what we have: the steep BOS, right? We have the steep BOS here. We have the double BOS, because I'm going to show you everything on the charts right now. We have the invalid BOS, and then we have the valid BOS. Mind you, everything here, I will show you an example on the chart. If we don't even see an example on the chart, I will open my journal here and you will see a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot of them. Now let's go into the chart here. This is NAS 100, right? This is NAS 100 basically. Now let's look at the first. I'm using this is on the entry basis, not for analysis basis. You understand? There are two different ways you use break of structure. I didn't even make inquiry on this before. Sorry. You make use of break of structure during your analysis and during your entries. There are certain type of break of structure you see during the entries that you take, and there are certain types you see during analysis, and you know the direction you're following the market to. Do you understand me? All right. So let me go to GPJPY because that's where I believe you guys will understand something clear. Now let's look at daily time frame so that I can show you guys something. Now, looking at daily time frame, I hope you understand what I'm showing here. We have what? A break of structure. Can you see this valid drop here? We have low here that we're targeting. We have the high, which is our invalidation point. Now we're waiting for certain things to occur. Do you understand? This is a break of structure, which is the valid one. Now this is on the daily time frame. Do you understand me? This is the daily time frame analysis. Now let's go to which pair should we go to? Let's just go back to this one, right? And going back to our 30 minutes time frame. Now let's continue looking at the charts for what we're doing already. Now we can see a valid break of structure here, which is price sweeps its low and then basically does what, and then basically breaks the structure here. So obviously the last sell candle is basically our demand, which price mitigated here and move. Now after price did this, take note of this. Take note of this here. Price swept this high, right? Then can you see the type of candle that is here? This is what we call an inside sweep candle. If you look at the last video I created, I explained there about everything about this. So for you guys to understand. Now another type of break of structure is look at this one here. I think I'll open my journal so that you guys will just see it clearer. That we are in our journal, this one is US30, right? This is previous price action that I was just backtesting and keeping stats and data for myself. Now you can see the low that was created here because of the sweep. You can see the break of structure here. Now this is what again another valid break of structure, making use of what the last sell can do as our demand and then buy. I'll take a look of this. This is the steep type entry that I was telling you guys about. The steep type of entry. Now see the major fall that price did here. This was the major fall. After giving this fall, it created a high here, created another low, created a break of structure here. After creating this break of structure, you can see that price. This is the main target. So this high was the main target. This low was where became our demand. Why? Because of this steep that happened here. Or rather, should I say this double BOS that happened here? Basically the same thing as this that I was explaining. You can see right now that what I was explaining has actually come again into the chart. Basically, just follow up with this channel, follow up with this TikTok page, and then basically just go on the link on my bio. You will see the Telegram link. Tap the link and join us on Telegram. You get more information, more clearer details. Catch you guys on the next episode.